Libra, my beautiful soul of balance and intuition, listen carefully. This Thursday, November 27th, is your final warning. The universe has been patient, but it will not wait any longer. There is a truth heading your way and it's going to hit harder than you think. That's why this video exists. That's why you found it. Or rather, why it found you. You are not here by chance. The moment you clicked on this video, something deep within your soul responded to a higher call. Welcome to Zodiac Whisper Tarot, where every message is more than words, it's a key. A key to unlock timing, healing, and divine alignment. This is not a general reading. This is a soul directive. A portal of clarity designed for you, Libra, in this exact moment. Tell me honestly. Have you been feeling watched lately? A little unsettled, like someone's hiding something? That quiet tension that lingers even when everything seems peaceful? If so, that's not your imagination. That's your spirit trying to speak through the noise. And today, it's my voice that will help you hear what it's been trying to say. This reading begins with 3 powerful tarot cards, the Judgment, a spiritual wake-up call. A truth can no longer be hidden. You must decide. The 7 of Swords, someone has been keeping secrets. Betrayal doesn't always shout. It whispers. The 6 of Cups, the past is circling back, not to resume, but to resolve what you once left undone. Astrologically, November 27th aligns with a Pisces moon, amplifying your sensitivity and intuition but also your illusions. With Mercury retrograde, communication will be twisted, and clarity must be earned, not assumed. Later in the day, Venus trines Saturn, inviting you to reevaluate your relationships. Who stays? Who goes? Libra, your soul thrives in harmony, but not all peace is honest. Some peace is purchased at the cost of your truth. And now the universe is asking, will you keep pretending, or will you finally choose yourself? And before we dive in deeper, let me pause here and say this from the heart: thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for giving your time and presence to this space. Every like, every comment, every moment you spend with this channel nourishes not only the growth of Zodiac Whisper Tarot, but your own connection to this sacred community. So take a breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Place your hand over your heart. And if anything I've said resonates, if it stirs something inside you, I invite you to type this powerful affirmation in the comments. I choose the truth. I choose the light. I choose myself. This is your way of anchoring your energy. Of saying yes to what's coming. Of claiming what has always been yours. Because the truth is, Libra, you may not feel ready, but the universe knows you are. You've been walking toward this moment for lifetimes. And no matter how messy or uncertain it feels, you are not alone. There is an ancestral presence watching over you, a woman in your lineage, wise and warm, who whispers your worth in moments of doubt. Her spirit guided you here. And I believe she wants you to stay. So stay with me. Don't skip this. Because what the universe is about to reveal is more than surprising. It's life-altering. And you deserve to see it through to the very end. There's something about these 3 cards, the Judgment, the 7 of Swords, and the 6 of Cups, that speaks not just to this week, but to the crossroads of your soul. Libra, this is not just a reading. It's a mirror. And what's reflected back to you now isn't simply about fate. It's about your willingness to look clearly, lovingly, and courageously at what is being revealed. The Judgment card arrives first, and it rarely whispers. It stands at the edge between past and future and rings the bell that cannot be unrung. This isn't about punishment or guilt, no. Judgment in its true, spiritual sense is about awakening. It's the moment where what's been dormant rises, where buried truths surface not to hurt you, but to set you free. It's the honest inventory of the soul. And in your case, Libra, it's that inner nudge that tells you, you can't delay this choice anymore. The window is closing. You already know what must go. In many ways, this card mirrors a concept that faith communities have carried for centuries: the idea that divine timing is sacred, and that when God knocks, we must not keep the door closed out of fear or hesitation. It's not about fear of punishment, but the invitation to step into a higher version of yourself. The Seven of Swords appears right after, like a shadow following your footsteps. It doesn't announce itself, it hides. This card represents silent betrayal, withheld truth, energy leaks. Someone around you may not be showing their full hand. But more importantly, it asks you, where have you been dishonest with yourself? Where have you silenced your inner knowing to keep the peace or avoid confrontation? As a Libra, your instinct is to see the good in others, and that is beautiful. But discernment is a gift, too. This card invites you to remember that love is not blind. Love sees clearly, and still chooses wisely. Sometimes the most sacred thing you can do is walk away from what doesn't respect your truth. Not out of resentment, but out of reverence for your own peace. And then comes the Six of Cups, the softest, most nostalgic of the three. This card carries the energy of memory, of longing, of something or someone from the past resurfacing. But this return is not to reattach. It's here to teach. Perhaps a familiar face will show up, or an old wound will rise again. Not to bring pain, but to offer you a chance to respond differently, this time with boundaries, clarity, and healing. Sometimes God allows echoes from the past to return, not because He wants you to relive them, but so you can release them with grace. There is deep healing when you realize that you no longer react as you once did, that you've grown. That you've finally outgrown the version of yourself that once accepted less than you deserved. All three cards speak of transition. One announces it. One warns you. One asks you to release. Together, they map the spiritual architecture of a shift. And if you're willing to follow this path, Libra, it won't just be a hard truth, it'll be a holy one. Because there's nothing more sacred than choosing yourself with full awareness. Not out of pride, but from a place of peace. So if your heart has been heavy or confused lately, know this: you're not broken. You're being realigned. And sometimes that realignment comes with truth that stings, just like the first deep breath after being underwater too long. The pain isn't the problem. The pain is the clearing. You are not here to live someone else's version of harmony. You're here to claim your own. And this week, the universe asks gently but firmly, will you? If so, say it out loud: even now, I am ready to see clearly. I am ready to choose me. Let those words plant something new in the soil of your becoming. Because this is not an ending. This is the beginning of your return to truth. Let's imagine you're standing in the middle of a quiet room, but the air is shifting just slightly, but undeniably. That's the kind of energy surrounding November 27th for you, Libra. It's subtle but potent. And to understand what's truly at play on this date, we need to go beyond the surface. Because the astrology doesn't just influence you, it activates something already within you, waiting to rise. This week, the moon moves into Pisces, a deeply sensitive water sign. And while that might sound poetic, it also comes with a caution. Pisces energy has the gift of expanding intuition, yes, but it also opens doors to illusion, projection, and false hope. When the moon is in Pisces, we feel everything, but not everything we feel is real. This is especially challenging for Libras, whose natural instinct is to harmonize, to believe the best in others, and to hold space for what could be, even when the reality of what is may be speaking otherwise. This is not a week for fantasy. It is a week for refined perception. That guidance is emphasized even more by Mercury's retrograde presence. While Mercury moves backward, communication becomes cloudy, information gets distorted, and intentions are easily misread. That's not just a warning for contracts or text messages, it's a call for discernment in all things. Don't rush into decisions. Don't respond to emotional pressure. Don't make long-term plans based on short-term emotions. Instead, observe. Reflect. Confirm. Especially when someone from your past suddenly reappears or when an offer seems too perfectly timed to be true. Because chances are, it's not the whole picture. What deepens the significance of this moment is the trine between Venus and Saturn, two planets that govern love, commitment, and maturity. When they form a harmonious angle, we are invited to reevaluate what, and who, we're truly aligned with. It's like the universe is asking, is this relationship real, or is it routine? Is this agreement a foundation, or a facade? For Libra, the sign ruled by Venus, this is not a small question. It cuts to the core of your emotional landscape. And the answer will require you to be both soft and strong at once, something only you can do so beautifully. Numerologically, November 27th is laced with symbolism. The date carries the energy of the number 2, the intuitive heart, the peacemaker, the empath, and the number 7, the seeker of truth, the uncoverer of what's hidden. Together they make 9, a number of completion and closure. Something in your life is ready to end. Not with drama, but with clarity. That could be a habit, a story, a relationship, or a limiting belief about your worth. You'll feel the inner signal when it arrives. It might not shout, but it will be persistent. And if you listen, if you pause instead of pushing forward, you'll make space for what's real to enter. It's easy to get caught in the busyness of life and miss the quiet turning points. But sometimes, all it takes is one deep breath to bring your attention back to what truly matters. One moment to decide that you won't move forward blindly anymore. One moment to say, this time, I will choose differently. And it's in that space, the space between impulse and awareness, that real transformation begins. You are not late. You are right on time. Just don't miss the whisper because you were waiting for a scream. The truth is already here, it just needs your stillness to be heard. Sometimes, life has a subtle way of whispering to us through symbols, echoes, or encounters that feel too timely to be coincidence. This week, Libra, your world may feel like it's brushing up against a veil, one that separates your conscious life from something deeper, more intuitive. The signs that surround you aren't random. They're patterns calling you back to your own truth, asking you to see not just with your eyes, but with your inner knowing. When someone brings up a story you thought was closed, when an old item suddenly reappears in your home or falls into your hands, or when a dream circles back night after night with the same face or feeling, these aren't distractions. They're invitations. Invitations to release something old so that something new can finally take shape. For a sign like yours, so finely attuned to balance and beauty, this process of letting go can be more emotional than you expect. You often carry grace so well that others don't notice when you're struggling to carry the weight of memory. But energy doesn't lie, and your energy right now is being asked to shift. Not because you've done something wrong, but because your soul is ready for more light, more truth, more alignment. And to make space for that, you'll need to release what no longer resonates with the person you've become. That object from your past, the one you hadn't noticed in months but now seems to keep catching your attention. It may be tied to a version of yourself that you're outgrowing. Holding on to it might not seem significant on the surface, but your environment holds memory, and sometimes memory holds you back. Gently ask yourself, does this still serve the person I'm becoming? If not, bless it and release it. Let that be your declaration that you trust what's ahead more than you need to repeat what's behind. Dreams, too, are portals. They carry information when your conscious mind is too full to receive. If you keep seeing the same image, hearing the same name, or waking up with the same emotion, take note. Write it down. Sit with it. Ask yourself what it might be mirroring in your waking life. Often, these dreams don't demand action right away. What they want is awareness. And when awareness grows, clarity naturally follows. I also want to acknowledge something quiet but powerful, the feeling that someone is walking this path with you, even if you can't see them. Many Libra souls are being watched over right now by the memory of a maternal figure, a grandmother, a mother, an aunt, or even a woman from your ancestral line whose name you may not know but whose strength runs through your veins. Her energy isn't here to rescue you, it's here to remind you. To remind you that you come from a lineage of endurance. Of women who carried pain and still made room for beauty. When you feel that gentle presence behind you, a warmth, a scent, a memory that brushes your cheek like wind, let it remind you, you are not alone. And you are not weak for needing that reminder. When life brings us full circle, when stories repeat or symbols resurface, it's rarely about starting over. It's about finishing well. So that we don't carry the same lesson into the next chapter still unfinished. This week, don't ignore what feels familiar. Don't dismiss what returns. And most of all, don't forget the quiet voice that's been with you from the beginning, the one that says, lift your head, Libra. You were never meant to live small. You were meant to rise. The power of preparation lies not only in what you do, but in the quiet intention behind each act. For this coming Thursday, November 27th, the energy is building towards something precise, and that precision calls for stillness, clarity, and meaningful ritual. The simplest actions, when done with awareness, become portals for transformation. Lighting a white candle the night before, not just as decoration but as a sacred gesture, signals to your subconscious that you're stepping into the light willingly. You're saying, I am no longer afraid of seeing clearly. That candle isn't about superstition. It's about presence. It's about making room in your life for clarity to land. Writing down 3 things you're ready to release may seem small, even too simple. but it activates something powerful in your mental field. It externalizes what you've been holding in your energy body, your emotional space. When you write something down with the intent to let it go, you're not just noting it, you're detaching from it. You're announcing to yourself that your identity is no longer rooted in those weights. And when you read out loud words like, I accept the truth, I choose the light, I am protected, you're speaking directly to your nervous system, giving it a new pattern to follow. That's not magic, that's self-direction. And it's one of the most empowering things you can do. Cleansing a physical space, just one corner, allows energy to reset. Our environments reflect our inner world, and when you declutter even a small area with intention, you're actually recalibrating your own clarity. If you do this the night of the 26th, you may find yourself waking up on the 28th with unexpected lightness, like your mind finally has room to breathe. This is the kind of action that doesn't ask for perfection, only for presence. From a practical perspective, this week also asks you to pay close attention to how you're treating your body. With the emotional waves flowing from the Pisces moon and Mercury still retrograde, caffeine can easily push you into overstimulation. Choose hydration instead. A few extra glasses of water, a 5-minute breathing session before bed, these aren't fixes, they're foundations. And they help recalibrate your nervous system at a time when sensitivity is heightened. Grounding your body is the first step in clarifying your thoughts. In work, double-check anything that involves agreements. Not just contracts, also verbal understandings, team dynamics, assumptions. Mercury's motion is infamous for confusion, and this week is no exception. Step back. Look twice. And if it doesn't feel aligned, delay if you can. Not out of fear but out of wisdom. In finances, be discerning. The energy of the number 7, which governs this week, is about spiritual integrity and disciplined clarity. If you've been overspending or ignoring a financial leak, now is the time to tighten that space. Choose one area to bring back into control. That choice alone will ripple into more security. And in love, stop chasing answers. Let the truth come forward naturally. Sometimes the heart already knows what the mind is still trying to solve. The most courageous thing you can do is give space and trust that the clarity you need will always rise when you stop trying to control it. In moments like these, I'm reminded of something I've seen over and over in lives that shift profoundly. It's not always the big changes that bring freedom. It's the quiet choices. The small, consistent, sacred pauses. If all you do this week is light one candle, speak one truth, or let go of one illusion, it may be enough to change everything. The truth really does set you free. And the light, Libra, has been waiting for you to open the door. Most people think they'll be ready when the moment comes. That when the truth finally reveals itself, they'll know exactly what to do, how to respond, how to walk away or walk through. But the truth is, Libra, you are not ready. And that's not because you're weak. It's because the truth that's approaching is bigger, brighter, and more transformative than you expected. It doesn't just nudge your comfort zone, it breaks it wide open. And when that happens, the first thing you'll feel isn't courage. It's resistance. Shock. Maybe even grief. Because what's about to be uncovered won't just change how you see others, it may change how you see yourself. The universe is preparing to flip a page you weren't even aware was being written. A name may come out. A message may surface. A person who's worn a familiar face may suddenly feel like a stranger because the mask drops. And behind that mask, you may find betrayal. Or perhaps just the truth they were never brave enough to say aloud. You'll feel the shift in your body before your mind can label it. That moment of stillness before the wind changes. And when it does, you'll have one choice: to meet it with the fear that's been trained into you or the clarity you've been cultivating in silence. There's a golden opportunity arriving, Libra. But it comes attached to a moment of reckoning. You will not be able to accept the gift without accepting the truth that comes with it. And that's where many people turn away. That's where comfort becomes a cage. But not you, not this time. Because this time, the stakes are too high. This time, your peace is too sacred. This time, your soul knows the cost of staying asleep. And this is when you must remember, you have a choice. Even when it feels like you don't. Even when everything is moving so fast that your mind scrambles for control. You still get to choose how you respond, how you speak, how you act, and how you protect your space. No one gets to make that choice for you, not their guilt, not their shame, not even your old patterns of overgiving. Your boundaries are not walls. They're gateways to self-respect. And in this season, they're what will protect your light. Imagine a door carved with symbols you can't quite name, glowing from within with a warmth that both calms and terrifies. That's the door of destiny opening for you. But here's the truth most won't admit: not everyone walks through it. Not because they're not invited, but because they're not willing to look directly into the light. You can't walk through this next chapter half awake. You have to open your eyes, fully. You have to see what's been hidden and still choose to move forward. If this message speaks to something deep within you, if your chest feels tight or your heart is beating louder than usual, that's not anxiety. That's recognition. It's your inner compass clicking back into alignment. You don't need to know the whole path. You just need to take the next brave step. So tell me, Libra, are you willing to open your eyes to the truth and walk through the door that's already opening for you? If so, take this moment to anchor your intention in the comments. Write this, and mean it: I am ready to open my eyes and walk into the light. Because once you say yes, everything begins to move. And this time, it moves with you. And now, as we come to the end of this sacred space we've shared together, take a moment to let everything settle gently in your heart. The message wasn't just meant to be heard, it was meant to be remembered. Judgment called you. The Seven of Swords warned you. The Six of Cups reminded you of your power to choose again. And Libra, you are no longer in a space where you can afford to ignore the truth. But that doesn't mean you need to fear it. Truth is not the enemy. In fact, it's the very thing that has been patiently waiting to free you. This Thursday, November 27th, is not just a deadline marked by the stars. It is a final warning, yes, but it is also the first invitation. The beginning of a deeper awakening. The edge where illusion falls away, and what's real finally begins to grow. You've spent so much of your life trying to hold the balance for others, for peace, for the sake of harmony. But balance without honesty becomes a prison. And you're not here to live half of a life. You're here to rise, fully. To choose not what is comfortable, but what is clear. The power has always been within you. Not to control others, not to predict every outcome but to direct your own energy. That's what autonomy really is. It's knowing that even when life is uncertain, even when people disappoint, even when the path curves sharply, you still get to decide how you walk it. That is your power. That is your inheritance. And that is your offering to the world. So as you step into the days ahead, I ask you gently but firmly, what are you holding on to that no longer reflects your truth? What version of yourself are you ready to outgrow? And most importantly, are you willing to stop waiting for someone else to change, and instead begin with yourself? These are not easy questions. But they are liberating ones. And I promise you, the moment you stop choosing silence over clarity, the universe responds. That's the law of vibration. That's alignment. That's the moment your internal, yes, echoes across energetic fields and opens doors you didn't even know existed. And those doors, Libra, are already unlocking. So if this message spoke to you, if even a small part of you feels seen, called, or remembered here, don't let it fade as the screen goes dark. Anchor it. Claim it. Type this in the comments right now: I choose the truth. I choose the light. I choose myself. Let that be your offering, your signature to the universe, your soul's way of saying, I am awake now. And if you found this reading meaningful, healing, or illuminating in any way, please remember to like this video and subscribe to Zodiac Whisper Tarot. Your presence here is never taken for granted. Every single view, every word you share in the comments, every quiet nod on the other side of the screen, it all matters. You matter. From my heart to yours, Libra. May every beautiful door open before you, and may you walk through them with a heart wide awake. And until we meet again, may the light cover you, Libra. Always.